welcome to the Shy Show. Today we got a special guest. Uh, got my girl T Money. She's 1/3 of the Bonnet Gang. She's part of a podcast. It's called Triple Threat Pod by the Bonnet Gang. You can find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. What's up, T Money? How you doing?
Just living. I don't want to go back to work tomorrow, but I gotta be an adult. Kicking it, same old, same old.
So what about them Grizzlies? What has happened in the bubble? That bubble done burst for the Grizzlies right now.
It's tough because before the bubble, we kind of had this momentum going, and we all felt like we didn't expect to have this kind of season. So once the momentum got going, we kind of bought into it all the way. But I mean, pretty much we're playing playoff basketball. Like, this is playoff basketball. Maybe not quality level, but the intensity. And we're starting to see that. And as we knew, we're a little bit younger. We have flaws. And they're just showing a little bit more. And then once Jaren got hurt, I kind of tapped out already. Not to give up on my guys, but it is what it is.
So do you think, like, injury has played a part? Because it's like, first it was what's the guy's name? I can't even think of his name.
Justice Winslow.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know his name. Justice Winslow, Tyus Jones, and now Jaren. So do you think like that? I think like Tyus Jones, like, missing him, that's like, that put a lot of pressure on Ja. And then it just seemed like the second unit can't run good. I mean, they really missed Tyus Jones, and then now Jaren. So, like, with Justice, I thought, well, maybe, the guys they had played with him before. Mm-hmm. But, like, I mean, that would have been a big boost to them. But missing Tyus and then now Jaren, I just don't know.
Yeah, the Tyus one hurt. Like you said, the last two games that I've watched, and I saw people talk about it even in today's game, around this fourth quarter time where he usually has a burst of energy, he's tired. He's winded, and he has to play more minutes, which he's not used to. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, losing Tyus hurts because we don't have anybody that can do what he did. He's a good defender. He was shooting the ball well, especially from three, and he could run the offense. So it puts everybody in their place. Now you're asking DeAnthony Melton to do it, which he's not a point guard. He's a two.
Right.
Kyle Anderson, I don't know what his head has been on. He's been shooting more, but, and that also hurts Brandon Clark because he has nobody to run with in the second unit. And Brandon Clark was a big part of our bench being so good. So it was just the domino effect. And then with Jaren, I'm glad they played good today. Mm-hmm. You need that extra energy when your boy goes down. You try to play up for him, but we can't overcome that. He's been the best player in the bubble. Exactly. And like, I feel like a proud parent watching him because he's been up and down, but these last three games, it was like, okay, he's here. Mm-hmm. And now it's just like, it sucks that we, did all this just to get in the bubble, and we might lose every game, but it's cool because even though they're not going to make the playoffs, they're getting quote unquote playoff reps. So that's a positive sign, I guess.
So do you think rookie coaching plays a part in what's happening as well?
Somewhat. I think Jenkins has he surpassed my expectation, even though I personally didn't have any because I knew nothing about him coming in. And he started the season a little rough, but he started to catch his stride. But I think there are moments where he doesn't kind of want to overstep the players' feelings. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think he's going to bench Dylan Brooks.
Right.
But I also don't think that he would bench Dylan Brooks because he just doesn't have that kind of authority. You know what I'm saying? That history with the team. I don't know if he would bench Kyle Anderson because Kyle is a vet and you don't want to upset your vets on a young team. So I think it's more things like that rather than the actual coaching. He's a fine coach. So I haven't seen anything in particular on the floor that has made me think like, okay, he's why, we're 0-4 in the bubble. Nothing like that.
So what would you say to the fans, who are asking why Josh Jackson is not getting any playing time? People were upset that Gorgé wasn't getting any time. So what do you say to the fans about those two?
With Josh, it's like we knew the Josh Jackson situation coming in, and honestly, the only reason he really got any burn in the regular season is because Grayson Allen got hurt. If Grayson never got hurt, and after the trade, we didn't have any wings. That's when Josh started kind of doing his thing, but he was always a project. And the truth is, one, he's not that good. And two, when every possession counts and you have a young player like Josh Jackson who can kind of be erratic, kind of black holy, and can mess up on defense, he's gonna fall out the rotation. So that doesn't bother me. I know that we know the talent is there. He was the number 4 pick, but it's just like, okay, he's not better than Grayson. He's not better than Brooks. He's not better than Kyle. So like, exactly where is he gonna play? Right. With Jang, I don't get why he fell out the rotation. That's probably my biggest issue with Taylor Jenkins' coaching. Tolliver he's a great veteran, and I'm glad that he's there for vet purposes, and he could shoot the leather off the ball, but Jang he could shoot, he could defend, and he's a decent passer. So I don't really know why he fell out the rotation, but Tolliver may be a great player for coaches. Like they can the responsibility, knowing he's going to be where he needs to be, do what he got to do, and he's probably a good practice player. So that's probably what happened.
Okay, so they didn't shoot as many threes as they shot last game. They were 11 for 29 this game. So do you think that they should play an inside-out game instead of, just shooting the three? Because, like, last game, Josh shot, like, he was 1 for 10 from 3. This time, he didn't shoot that many threes. So do you think they should, like, go old school and use Jonas like they did for the Jazz game, even though they didn't win? But to me, it was a better outing than, maybe the last 3 games. It just seemed like they tried, but, mental mistakes down the stretch and, missing chippies at the rim, really cost them because they could have went up. So I just don't know.
I think they got to find that balance. Like, I think the beauty of this team is that they can do a little bit of everything, but they're not necessarily great at anything. And I think with Dylan Brooks, we know he's going to shoot. So he can kind of take the team away. Like in the game before last, Jonas was doing his thing. He was killing on the inside, and then Brooks comes in and does whatever. But I think that'll be a growing point for Ja, knowing when to do what and not necessarily having a coach tell you what to do, but being able to look and see, Jonas, he maybe Gobert might be in foul trouble, or he just has his moment. So to do that responsibility. And in terms of Ja shooting, I think that was probably more of a confidence thing because he shot so bad last game and he's not a good shooter. So I think that his mental is going to be like, okay, I'm just not going to shoot as much this game because like you said, 1 of 10, that's terrible. Right. But again, he's not like a Trae Young or a Steph where he needs to shoot himself into rhythm. He's more, if I'm not hitting this 3, I'm not going to shoot the 3. And I respect it because he know his game better than everybody else. But it's kind of, we just need the balance. Like we have a decent amount of shooters, and then especially with even with Jaren going, so they just got to figure out the balance. Like it can't always lean 100% one way because it takes away from some of our advantage in the other areas. So I think that's something they'll grow into.
So you said Jaren was probably the best player in the bubble, but the second best player to me was Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen has really been showing out ever since he got that haircut. I think it was a black barber, who cut his hair like that. He's been really shooting the ball, and I mean today he had 20 points. He was 6 of 8 from 3. So what you think about Grayson?
I was happy when we got him because I know that he wasn't just a shooter. Like in the past, we've had like Ben McLemore, he was just a shooter. Troy Daniels, he was just a shooter. And they weren't good enough at anything else to kind of justify playing them a lot when they weren't shooting well. But Grayson can dribble, he can shoot, he can kind of play make. He's the perfect player. I don't know if he starts, but this confidence, and especially I think is important because when he was gone and Josh was playing well, I wasn't sure if Grayson was going to get back into the rotation. So if he can keep playing like this, hell, he might start. We might need to start him for the rest of the bubble because, I mean, Dylan Brooks is Dylan Brooks. He's going to start because you have to just keep him mentally there. Right. Because we saw, what was that, 2 years or last year when he was getting benched and hurt, and his attitude, his demeanor, his energy was kind of up and down.
Yeah.
So shoot, slide Grayson at the 3. What can we lose at this point? He deserves the reps, but not like you said. He's been really, really, really good out. It kind of makes me proud.
Right. So I was thinking this is who I think should a starting lineup should be since Jaren is out. I think it should be Ja, Grayson, Dylan, Jonas. How many players I see?
That's 4.
Wait a minute. Ja, Grayson, Dylan, Jonas, and Brandon Clark. That's who I think it should be. I think Cal should come off the bench. I really do. But I don't
get why he's been starting. I don't get it. Sean, I really don't know why Kyle has been starting. He does not fit that starting lineup. And it hurts their offense because when they move the ball well and you get an open 3 and it's Kyle Anderson, you just like, okay, it does nothing for nobody. He should have been coming off the bench because if you don't have Tyus, you need more playmakers on the second unit. And so if you flip, like you said, Grayson for Kyle, I'm down with that.
He fooled us so well, like doing the scrimmage games. He was shooting 3, but like when the games counted, I don't know what the hell happened. I have no idea. But I think the coach should like just switch the starting lineup and throw the kitchen sink out there. Play everybody. You know what I'm saying? If someone have energy, what do you have to lose? I mean, you done lost, 4 straight now. So hey,
exactly. Like we can
pull out everything.
Listen, we ain't seen Marco in a minute. Josh, he ain't played. Yuta Watanabe, if he want to get some run, why not? Because we gotta see. Not? we gotta see for next year because we pretty much. I think most of these players are under contract for next year outside of Melton. So. Now is the time to see, who has a leg up going into training camp, who fits well with Ja, who doesn't fit well with Ja, who fits well with Clark. Like, that's the stuff that I think we need to see right now.
Yeah. I just know. But you know what? It's just like, even though that all is really not lost with them. It's not lost. They still have a possibility playing the play-in, but it's just like, how are they going to come out, these last 4 games? We don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know if San Antonio. I think their game is tonight, right?
I think they're playing right now. They might have won. Let me see.
Today.
No, they lost. Okay, that's.
Oh, good. They lost to Denver. Okay, that's good. Who else played?
Nobody else that matters plays tonight. What matters for us?
Then tomorrow, the Pelicans and the Kings. Wait. The Pelicans and the Kings play. Portland play Denver. So, hey, you never know. But it's just like they have to win. They still have a chance, even though it's bleak right now, they still got a chance. They're not out. Even though it looks bad, they're not out. But I feel like if they put together, some good runs, they still may have a chance because they really didn't play awful today. It wasn't awful. It really wasn't awful. Utah just got it going at the end. And then, like I said, some mental mistakes. And it seems like they did better when they, went to the paint instead of trying to shoot all those threes. So, I don't know.
I just hope that they just play with energy because the one advantage of being a young team is that you're young. It's like being around your young cousins or going outside to play with your young cousins. It's like, yeah, I'm better than you. But if you run me around in a circle 5 times, you know what I'm saying? I'm winded. And now what? So we just gotta we can't have the mental aspect drop. And I can understand also how, they might get down in the next game and be like, fuck it.
Right.
Because they're young, they blew an opportunity. But you just got to play hard. If you play hard, at least people will respect you. We can't be out here getting whooped like the Pelicans did against the Clippers. That's what I don't want.
Right. But the